Whitney Houston is famous for having one of the best singing voices of all time. But did she inherit it from her mother? Or is there someone else who can take the credit for her natural talent? There's a rumor going around on social media that Whitney's real mom was also a famous trailblazer in the world of entertainment. So brace yourself, because when you find out who it is, you'll be floored by all the insane similarities between them. Whitney's mother, Cissy Houston, was a successful singer too. She found fame in the 1960s with the girl group The Sweet Inspirations. She later went on to have a solo career and even won 2 Grammy Awards in the category of traditional gospel album. So you'd think that it'd come as no surprise that her daughter would then go on to be a talented performer too. But some people have pointed out that Whitney and Cissy don't really sound alike when they sing, and others have even claimed that they don't look much alike either. Though it's not well known, there was another famous singer that Whitney had a lot in common with. And once people began sharing side-by-side videos of the two stars on social media, it didn't take long for the rumor to start spreading that the pair were actually related. So who is this mysterious woman that the internet is claiming to be Whitney's real mother? You might not have heard of actress and singer Teresa Graves before. She was big in the 1970s when she became the first African-American woman to be the star of a drama TV series. Teresa played the lead role on an ABC crime drama show called Get Christy Love. And honestly, when you see the TikTok videos comparing her with Whitney, it's easy to see why people have been alleging that the two must be part of the same family. But could they really be mother and daughter? That's a question that is seriously dividing social media users. First, let's look at the reasons why they could be related. One of the most obvious connections between these two performers is the way that they look. There's no doubt that Whitney really looked a lot like Teresa. There's so much that they had in common: their complexion, their hair, their jawline, their high cheekbones, and their long necks. But like I said, the similarities between them didn't just end with their appearance. In their article about this mother-daughter theory, a writer for Kiss 107.1 said that they were stunned by the uncanny resemblance that Teresa and Whitney shared. They wrote that it was more than physical characteristics, it was also mannerisms and the way that Teresa carried herself. And when they heard Teresa sing, they had to shake their head in disbelief. Even the voices of the two women had things in common. The writer went on to claim that it was undeniable that there were more similarities than differences between the two. But aside from all that, are there any other links between Teresa and Whitney that suggest that they could have actually been mother and daughter? Some internet sleuths have claimed that there are also a lot of timely coincidences between the pair. A Reddit user pointed out that Teresa reportedly left Hollywood and stepped out of the limelight the same year that Whitney got her big record deal in the 1980s. According to a report by The Root, Teresa retired from acting to concentrate on her Jehovah's Witness religion. She supposedly began to have moral conflicts with the script she was being given, and she was struggling with the aspects of life in Hollywood too. So she ended up dedicating all of her time to Jehovah's Witnesses activities instead. But it's interesting that she decided to do that around the exact time that Whitney was on her way to becoming one of the biggest stars in the world. Is it possible that Teresa found out that Whitney was entering the same industry as her and wanted to avoid running into her or being compared to her? It's a theory that some online users are clinging to. Another unusual timing between the two celebrities happened in 2002. Tragically, it was the year that Teresa lost her life. The New York Times reported that she passed away because of a house fire that happened in her home in LA. The fire started because of a faulty space heater, and Teresa was eventually found unconscious in her bedroom. She was quickly taken to a nearby hospital, but sadly, it was too late. Around the time of her passing, Whitney infamously had her big breakdown, and there are some people out there who think that the two incidents were related. Maybe Whitney knew that Teresa was her birth mom, and losing her at a time when she reportedly already had a lot of other stress in her life was just too much for her to bear. I mean, I don't think we can completely deny that it's a possible theory, but how are people explaining Whitney's birth? After all, she was born in New Jersey in 1963, and Teresa was a 15-year-old living in California at the time. So do people really believe that there's a chance that Teresa gave birth to Whitney at such a young age on the other side of the country? The short answer is yes. The Root talked about a conspiracy theory that's been used to explain the mysterious birth, and it's honestly a little disturbing. Apparently, some social media users who are hungry to find a connection between these two women have suggested that Whitney's dad had an affair with Teresa when she was just 14. Rumor has it that Whitney's mom, Cissy, was on tour at the time, and the story goes that Teresa then brought Whitney's dad his love child and left the baby with him and his wife to raise. I know it's pretty out there, but you'd be surprised how many people claim to believe it online. Others have said that Teresa got pregnant as a teenager and then simply gave the baby up for adoption, and it was the Houstons who ended up becoming her parents. A Celeb Reels video commented on an unconfirmed report that Sissy was Teresa's aunt. Some people have claimed that they were just friends or estranged cousins, but there's no evidence to suggest that the two women actually knew each other. Though there are a lot of arguments that support the theory that Teresa could be Whitney's mom, it's only fair to look at the reasons why people say it's not true too. A Reddit user who argued against the mother-daughter theory said that, according to Wikipedia, Teresa was popular in high school. She was reportedly voted most talented in her senior year. The user alleged that as a teen mom in the 1960s, there was no way that Teresa would have been considered popular by her classmates. They also doubted that she would have graduated on time with a 4.0 average if she'd been pregnant in 9th or 10th grade. The Root made the argument that though there were some similarities between Teresa and Whitney's singing voices, Teresa wasn't a powerhouse singer, whereas Whitney's mom, Sissy, was capable of belting out songs. The report also claimed that the theory that Whitney's father had an affair with Teresa and then expected Sissy to raise the baby was troubling. The outlet's writer pointed out that none of the people involved in this scenario have ever addressed the rumors, and none of them are around to confirm anything anymore. Sissy just recently passed away in October 2024 at the age of 91. Whitney's dad coincidentally lost his life in 2003, just months after Teresa passed away in the house fire. And of course, we all know the tragic thing that happened to Whitney back in 2012. Sadly, both she and Teresa passed away too soon, around the age of 50. And with them gone, so are the secrets they might have been keeping. Maybe some people are just hoping that there was a connection between the two celebrities because they were both strong, talented Black women who left their mark on pop culture. But anyway, what do you guys think about all this? Is there a chance that the mother-daughter theory could be true? What do you personally think is the strongest similarity between the two of them? Let me know in the comments below.